Hello Riftbounders and welcome to Vendetta. Pre-Rift is what I'm having here. Looking forward to trying the new set. I hope the audio is decent even though we are a lot of people around. It's gonna be very exciting. If you guys haven't seen a pre-Rift video before, I have one on the channel explaining a little bit more in detail for Unleashed, the previous set. This is set number 4. So in here we have a Precon deck and 5 boosters, and it's play with what you open, which is very exciting. So I'm hoping that right now I'm flipping my legend, and this is a Shen or a cannon. Give it to me. Renekton. Okay, Renekton's also really fun. Ooh, that's a really good one. Congratulations, Mas. Damn, it's getting a showcase. Coming back to what I was trying to explain, in here we get a Precon deck, so like half a deck essentially. We get a promo card, which this time around is Ribbon. You can see pre-release says here. And then we get 5 boosters from the new set, Vendetta, that I've been looking very much forward to playing with. There's a lot of funny and cool interactions in this set. I think because I'm potentially putting this out fast, I'm trying to make this a way that requires close to no editing. And then you should see this fairly early. So maybe this is even exciting to see, if you guys want to see what's in this Precon here. So we have Renekton, which is centered around just sacrificing your runes, essentially, to get more energy. You can spend power to get energy. And then you have an entire theme of the set, which I'm sure is going to be on some of the cards. If you're low on runes, you get bonuses. So we start with the champion unit here, which says here, when I attack, if you control 4 or fewer runes, you get to do 2 damage to all enemy units here. So this is the very first bonus of being low on runes. But you can also accelerate him, it's also just a 6 for 6. So it's a very powerful unit. Right here, Backtracking Reaper. When I attack, play a power to give assault. Okay, so 4 for 3 and a power, which have extra payment. That's expensive. Expensive in power, but we do that here. Oh, we also have the Kali cards. Ready unit, give assault. I don't think I should be playing or showing everything, because you guys have probably seen more than my video for this. But these are very cool. I'll pause on some of the cards that I know is going to be really playable. This one, Rampage. It's essentially a challenge, which is not costing any power. You see it's a 3 cost to do a challenge, but you can also sacrifice a rune as an additional payment to then give your unit +2. So it's oh, you got the Renekton spell. That's Renekton signature spell. Masses keeping the opening hits over there. So yeah, this is nice because you can challenge safely. It doesn't have action though, so you need to do it outside of combat. But this is a way of doing a removal without spending a power, so this is very nice. I'm looking for more of these. Sand Spinner, 6 for 6, very big in power, get a lot of units. If you control fewer runes than your opponent, give me +1. So a 2 for 2, which in the Renekton theme is gonna be giving you a +1, so it's like a 3 for 2 almost. It's very nice. If you have fewer runes than your opponent, give me +2 in ganking this turn. So a 6 in ganking for 4 if you have low on runes. It's gonna be fun. This is a +3 to a unit at a battlefield. Oh, deal 3. Yes, another removal in red without having to spend power. And you can discard a card if you want to, and then you can do 5 damage, still with no power. It's very exciting. Brutal Hunter. When I become ready, give me +2 this turn. Okay, so just essentially a 7 for 6. That's a really pretty card with the close-up to Renekton. Okay, action, give a unit +2 this turn. If it's in power, give it 4 instead. So it's a pump spell that benefits from having in power units. 2 for 2. In power was just pay 1 to make it into a 3. That's really flexible, really nice for a 2 cost. So really easy to use 2-drop. Protective Sands. When you conquer here, if you have the Renekton 4 fewer runes, you may pay 1 to draw. That's cool. And then of course an Empower token, which we're gonna see more of, I'm sure. Okay, now we get into it. Vendetta for the first time. Also the art, like the card art on the pack, the pack art of course, is really, really pretty. It's so nice. Let's see. Yeah, you can play without a legend and get a card draw if you want to. But you only get 1 card draw. Dredge up. Draw for 2, which you can do 2 times. Flow is one of the new mechanics in Vendetta. So you can essentially 2 times here, just pay 2 to get a card draw. It's very nice. So we can make a blue pile. Another raider that just gets really powerful. Green, 3 for 3, in power to get deflect and shield, so good for holding. Specialist, get assault to a lot of gear. That's going to be really difficult to work with in Vendetta, but it's going to be good for constructed. Purple, out here. Play me from face down. Oh, you can disempower. Oh, so this is a trap to disempower an opponent. Crashing Thunder, 4 for 4, pay a cost. If you do that, you can stun an enemy in that battlefield. Okay, so 4 for 4 is very nice, and have a stun. You get an over number up there all the way, so far away. Oh, it's showcase. Okay, right. Another 2-drop, which I'm very high likely going to be playing with. So used to use, so easy to use. This is essentially Purple Vex, the origin version. Oh, it's a Spirit Forge. Yeah, the shield is just on an empowered body, so you can make your opponent's spells cost more. Oh no, this is for me. Oh, this is for me. Yeah, that's only for me. This is a discount for me if I empowered it. Another unit that gets empowered bonuses. Battlefield. When combat starts here, attack and the defender each get an extra mana. Okay, so we just all get a Diana effect for free. Foil, 2 for 1. When I conquer, you may kill a gear. Okay, this is the one you talked about earlier. Yeah, kill a gear with no more cost than my might. So if you buff this, you can just kill a really good gear. As a foil, I get a Hextech formula. Common Exhausted. Empower another gear that looks like a Jace card. Ooh, big general. 5 for 5 and an expensive Empower. And your units that are empowered, including me, get +2. So everything gets +2 now. Okay, that's just a big, what's called Under Titan? Big Under Titan card. Here's a big dragon. Big unit. When you play me, draw 1. Not going to be very good for constructed, I don't think so at least. But can be really good for pre-rifts, where you don't have that much card draw. Punching Poro, 2 for 2, and empower discard 1 to just get an extra, so another 2-drop. This one I'm excited for. I'm a green player usually, so when a combat ends that I was in, if I haven't taken any damage, card draw. So that's a good one. Affectionate Poro. Mage, when I get empowered, predict 2. That's an interesting empower. Very expensive empower, but also get +1. Here's the Spiderling, one of the first cards in the set that breaks the rules. You can have any number of cards named Spiderling in your deck. So you can essentially make a Teemo deck with these 39 spiders if you want to. And that's gonna be fun, yeah. Minimum 25. Choose a unit, it becomes 5 might this turn of the base might. So if you have equipment on it, it still gets bigger. Which is a potential buff, or you can choose an opponent to make it smaller. But it has flow cost, you can play it again from your graveyard for the same price. It's a decently flexible card. Another Brutal Hunter for orange. Pendulum Blade, that's really good. It's like the red version of Brutalizer, essentially. It gets +1, and if you move to a battlefield, it gives +2 this turn. If you do it multiple times, you get to keep it, and it can become more than +2. Yes, Key Barrier. It's a reaction spell. It's a 7 shield, essentially. Very much Shen. You can see Shen is on the picture. So this is reaction, give a unit 7 shield, which I'm really looking very much forward to. I think I might end up becoming a Shen player. We'll see. It might be really bad. It's looking bad, at least right now. But I want to try and make it work. Return 2 units from trash to their owner's hands. A foil Jace. Legend, I was about to say. Jace gear. Give a unit +2 this turn. With no power cost. There's a crystal in, was it Origins? The Heart of Dark Ice. But that costs a power to put in. This does not. This just costs 1 more energy. I get a Eclipse Dragon, 8 for 8. That's a big dude. Has Accelerate when I move if you control 4 or fewer runes. This is very much a Renekton card. Draw 1. So this I'm probably going to play if I do red. Ooh, we get a Kennen. This is a Kennen showcase. Let's go. Kennen, Keeper of Balance. Showcase Kennen. That's the old art Kennen. That's very nice. It's the hidden stun Kennen, which is very fun. It's also very cheap. It's 3 energy for 2. There's no power cost on it, but if you of course play it as a hidden, there is a power cost. Stunned units. If there are stun units here, I have +2, and it stuns when we play it from hidden. So it's a very, very big one. I want to put that in a sleeve straight away. So we're up in the corner here. Maybe you have it in frame. I'm not 100% sure. I got inner sleeves here, and I have the 25 yellow sleeves that I'm going to be playing with right now. This is cool. We're already getting yellow Kennen and Key Barrier for potentially some yellow stuff. see how this works. There's a very high chance I'm playing this, so I'll just put it in a sleeve so it's already double protected. For now, Alt-R Cannon. Let's go. Okay, so that's the first really big hit. Showcase. Exciting. We'll see how I speed this up to make it shorter, because we're definitely not spending 20 minutes. That's hopefully the entire video. We're not spending only 20 minutes opening. We got more red removal, which is a high chance we're playing. An old Poro, which you can't play until later. Card draw tomb. Blade Twirler. First time I move, you can choose an opponent or yourself to burn one. Stargazer Flow, cost less. Interesting. Horns of Dragons, a 6/6 tank, just straight up. Simple 6/6 tank. Another pump spell, which is really good in Pre-Rift Limited, because you're not having that many interactions in the set. Looks like we're playing that. Oh, here's my tank battlefield for Shen. Units here. Units with tank have +1 might. That's a nice battlefield. I like to see that. And here is my my defensive Ride the Wind for Shen. Reaction: choose a battlefield where you control, and a unit you control in a different place. You can move it to that place and give it +2. And then if you're playing Shen, you can tap your legend and you can give it tank. So you can put a unit from anywhere to that battlefield, give it tank and +2. That'll be really good. Ooh. What are we opening? That's a big set. Yeah, set showcase. That's really dope. So shiny. We got more draw, movement and draw. Very expensive. We have a shiny Reaper, foil Reaper. Have a relic. You play this at the start of your turn, burn one. When you burn something, you give a unit plus might equal to the burned card. That's really powerful. I thought this was the one you discard your entire hand and you play from the trash. That's another one. Oh, you have that right there. Yeah, see, okay, that was the one I thought it was. I will show it. Where's my purple? I messed up. I put red in a purple pile. No, this is one. Yeah, this was on the one. But when you play this, you banish your hand and your trash, and then you burn 7, so you have 7 new cards in your trash, and now you don't draw any cards anymore, but you can play those 7 cards in your trash. Akali Legends, I might actually, I can switch it up if I want to. It's not the number, this is the regular legend card, but it's really pretty. It's such a pretty card. I have an extra option for another legend if I don't want to actually do Renekton. What are we getting? The Crystal Ari. Wow. Alright. He won. Become one. I should check if the packs here can be opened from the back, because I could do that in Unleashed. Field Magicians, 3 for 4, but you get to buff another unit +3 this turn, so very nice. I might even lean into playing Kali, because I got some really good green ones. But then I need to choose green, red, I lose my orange. Oh no, because I want to do the yellow stuff. Autocracy. Well, this is the one you stop people from scoring in the start, where you get card draw instead. Very nice. Sand Spirit. Oh, we looked at that? Yeah, we looked at this one too. This one as well. Reluctant Leader. When you play another unit, give it +2 this turn. Oh, not it, this one. An egg. Empower. Pay the cost. Add. If it's empowered. Oh, you get more mana. Oh, this is the mana gear. The one that Jace is gonna cheat some energy with. Here's another Gear Hate unit. Shadow Fiends. 2 for 2, and you can empower it and give it Assault 3. It can be really powerful. Lacerate. Choose a unit. If it's empowered, disempower it, and then kill it if it's too small. Okay. That's really, because you just get to remove stuff from your opponent's side if it's small enough. Ooh, and we go straight into an epic. So now, and then on epic and rares, now we get a hit. We get a hit now. And also, this is the new counterspell from green. People are gonna love playing versus green after this set, because now we have 3 Defies and 3 Crumbling Sands. Although this needs to be a second spell. And it's a counterspell if you have already played a spell. So it needs to have more spells before this works. Alright, we get another rare. Fallen Feline. What does this do? When you play me, name a spell when I'm at a battlefield. You can't play spells with that name. Interesting. You can just block names. And then we get a hit. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Ooh, we get a rebuttal. We get a signature spell for the actual Mel deck. More signature spells. That's very nice. So that also kind of breaks it a little bit, because this is a counter spell that is not green. And this might be the only reason why you actually are playing Mel this set. You get to counter a spell that is no longer than 4. And then you can also pay a power if you want to just take the spell and give it a new target. So it's really, really powerful. It's a huge counter spell, and you get to steal the spell for a power. So definitely a nice one. Gonna be difficult playing that in this pre-rift, because I have almost no purple and blue cards. But I'm very happy to have opened this, because that's gonna maybe lead me towards playing with some melon at the start. That'll be fun. Oh, now we go over here with green. Signature spell. Over here. So that's gonna be, those are my 2 hits so far. So I have a showcase and an epics. I have 2 epics. So there's a decent chance I get 2 epics from a pre-rift kit. So we'll see if I get to be lucky and maybe get a last one from the last pack. Last pack magic. Oh. Here is a mech token gear spell. You can flow it. Okay, you can get a lot of mech tokens. More removal. We definitely need to have some red. We have a lot of good red cards. Oh, we got the new Noxus Hopeful Green. It's a 2 for 2. No power cost. If it survives a combat, it gets empowered and get +2. So it becomes a 4, potentially for 2 if it survives a combat. This is very nice in like Shen, so you can give the other one tank. So this survives. Or it's good in Akali, which you can just use the legend to just move it back from a showdown. If it's your turn, of course. So you can just move it back, move it in, and just use the Akali legend, tap it, to move it back home, and now it's survived the combat, and it gets +2. So that's an amazing 2-drop that I think almost every green is going to use this set. Lifeblade. Empowered +1 in ganking, and that's not super expensive. 4 for 4, 2 more energy to make it into a 5 in ganking. That's really good for purple. Ambush 3 for 3, very helpful. Repair specialist. Assault for all the gear you have, which we don't have a lot of here. Another Stargazer. Twilight Step. Move a unit. So like a Ride the Wind, just not as good. But it also has flow, so you can play it from your trash. Sandswept Tomb. Each spell that chooses 1 or more units here that are friendly to it cost power less. So I can boost myself and not use the power. That's a fun idea. 3 for 3 and a 12 in power? What? Oh, cost 1 less for each rune you control. Okay, so later in the game it costs almost nothing. But +3 you can get later. Interesting. Twilight Shroud. You can essentially make any unit into a rune runner. You can't target it anymore. It gets a +1. It costs only 2 to use for flow, but it's not an action or reaction. You have to play it on your turn and outside combat. But that's also pretty nice. Ooh, we get a Decree, one of the new hate cards. An orange hate card, so we can hate on blue. Choose an opponent, they show their hand, and you can choose a mind card that they need to remove. Okay, very interesting. So since it is looking like I'm doing some orange, red, I can do this. So if they play a blue card, I can just hate it out of their hand. We're gonna hate on some blue. And here's a blue card. It's a big mech. Costs 1 less for each gear you control, and it has Deflect. It's a big unit. And then a Empower. So yeah, now I need to look into what I have available to me. I think there's a very high chance that I'm actually going to do some of the Renekton stuff, because that's the stuff I have most of. I have both pump and good 2-drops in orange and red, and some damage spells in red. And I'm leaning towards green as my 3rd, but we'll see. I could also put yellow in here to actually enable me to play the Kenny, which could be fun, but I don't think there's any other stun. I just really want the key barrier. Alright, I'll stop this. I'd like to take a picture when I'm done building, which is going to take a little while. A quick walkthrough of what I ended up building. 5 2-drops, some of the Empower ones that are high value, of course. This Mournful Witness, almost the entire reason I put in green. As well with the Field Magician, a unit with a pump included, and this Twilight Shroud, like it's small, very small pump, but has flows, like a double pump. Pump spell is really good in pre-rifts, because there's very limited interaction. So essentially I have all my interaction at the bottom here. So I have like more pump spells that gets better for empowered. That's a lot of empowered units. Damage outside of combat. Oh, it's also action. Never mind. Rampage. A +2 if I end up having the extra mana, which I could do. I did go with the Renekton. I didn't have enough synergy with moving around for doing Akali, and now I also have a battle for just straight up Renekton. I can pay 1 to draw 1 if I have the 4 less runes. Then I just have a bunch of like extra mana, extra might, extra might, readying. I have 3 potential ganking units. This needs empowerment. This needs to have less runes than my opponent. It's the nice 4/4, which gets the empower cost back when it dies. And some big units, really big units. You need some big I need some more big units for really to have like crazy value for Renekton, but I think it's still worth it. But having like a really big unit with a big bomb accelerate at the end, I can just burn my entire deck to get this down early, because it's 8 might for 8 and I can accelerate it. So now I need to fetch some runes. I have purposely not gotten any green power, so I only need to do orange and red runes. I did open a couple really good green spells, see if they're here. But I doubt it's going to be worth shuffling in some of the power costs to get, even though I really wanted these two, like the defensive Ride the Wind and a counterspell. It's going to be really difficult getting that to work. And the Decree, of course. So maybe I should lay this up here if I play against blue. But I can quickly see there is very little blue on the board, so maybe I don't need to do that. Because I can sideboard, of course, between matches. To finish off the video, I wanted to include a couple Renekton openers and tips. This is all part of the Precon deck that comes with the Renekton package. The first thing I want to highlight is the very nice 2-drop here, Legion Marauder, which is a 2/2, and also has the option to spend 1 energy or power to empower it and give it another +1. So going first, this is a very nice and simple 2-drop. If you go second, so that you have 3 runes, you can play it as a 2-drop and then immediately empower it and give it a +1 at dice there, so that you can play it as a 3 might unit going second. And another reason why this is a really good unit is that you, on your next turn, where stuff gets ready and you get more runes, you have a pump spell here, Guttural Roar, which is a 2/2 pump spell. But if it is empowered, it is a +4. So you now have the option to have a 7 might unit when you choose your Legion Marauder that is empowered, and not many legends or decks in total can handle 7 might units on a turn 2 or turn 3. That is a very, very strong opener. And also, if you are the one going first, you can go in on the battlefield and just make sure that you have 2 open for when it's your opponent's turn. Because if they don't know that you're sitting with a pump spell and you have 2 open, they will not expect a +4 might when you try and defend on your opponent's turn. That's going to be a very, very big swing. Oasis Raider, a 4/4, that says here, if you control fewer runes than your opponent in the start of your beginning phase, give me +2 and ganking. Playing Renekton, you go in first, you can absolutely explode your board and just play it on turn 1, which is very dangerous. You can tap your mana to energy to add 2 energy to the pool. You can then sacrifice them as power for the Renekton legend, adding another 2 energy that you can only use to do units or unit abilities, which is part of the Renekton legend card here. So you essentially now on turn 1 have 4 energy, so you can use all the 2 and 2 energy to play this Oasis Raider. Very explosive play. I don't necessarily recommend it, but it is an opener. And just like we talked about earlier with the Marauder being able to do like 2 or 3 might on turn 1, this is a 4 might on turn 1. And when you take your next turn and you ready your legend, you get your new runes, odds are you're gonna have fewer runes than your opponent, because you just blew up 2 runes the turn earlier. This is now gonna have +2 and ganking. So this is gonna be a 6 might unit now, going in and attacking, of course on your turn, and then on your opponent's turn it is no longer that, it is only a 4. But if you manage to protect it, maybe with the pump spell that you just held open here, so it becomes a 6 unit again. On the following turn, if you still have less runes than your opponent, this is gonna ready up, get a +2 and ganking, which means you can just go to the other battlefield and get another point. So it is a very strong opener, also very weak to like a single unit removal. It's probably going to be difficult to keep this in constructed, but in pre-rift, which is what this video is about, this will be still very difficult for your opponent to handle. Looking at the champion unit, this is a 6/6 Renekton, which can accelerate. And also, when I attack, if you have 4 or fewer runes, it does 2 damage to all units here. So on your second turn, you can play this with your legend. So you have 4 runes here. You can tap 4 energy. We add 4 energy here. Then you can power, sacrifice, recycle 2 runes to have for the Renekton legend and add another 2 energy. Now adding up for 6 energy, so you can play your Renekton on that turn. If we retrace a little bit, and you happen to start this game going second, so that you have 5 runes available, you can do the same pattern we just showed. You tap 4. We sacrifice 2 of these. We recycle 2 runes for the power on the Renekton. So we get 2 more. And then also, he has Accelerate for 1 and a red power, which means when you play him for these 6 that are right here, you can play him, tap him, and sacrifice a red rune for the Accelerate, so he comes in ready. So having a 6 might unit ready on turn 2 is also really powerful, but you have, of course, just blown up 3 of your runes once again, doing very much Renekton things. But if there are 2 might units, they're just all gonna get exploded and AoE'd right up here. And if not, this is still just a 6 unit that is really, really powerful. As a fun little thought experiment, or maybe a puzzle, depending on how you look at it, I will show you how you, with this 1 card in your hand and this unit on the board, can essentially blow up a battlefield with 13 might. So, first of all, you have this card in your hand, which is called Perfect Execution. All these cards are part of the Renekton Precon deck. It says ready a unit and give it +3 assault this turn. It has flow, which enables you to, for 3 and a power, which is the same cost, play the spell 1 more time from the trash. So essentially you can use this card 2 times this turn. On the board, you already have a 6/6 Backtracking Sandspinner, which reads Empower 5. This ability costs 3 less if you control 4 or fewer runes. It then, as empowered, I have Deflect and Assault 2. And of course we have the Renekton ability, which means you can blow up 2 runes and get 2 energy to spend on units or activated abilities of units. So this is your board. This is your opponent. These are the runes. This is the card you have in hand. How do you beat these 13 might on the board? You can start by spending 3 and a power to put Perfect Execution on the Backtracking Sandspinner, giving it Assault 3 when it actually attacks, so it doesn't have the might yet. This is now in the trash. We can do it 1 more time for the flow cost here, which means we tap 3, we sacrifice another red card, a red rune, to now give this Assault 6 when it attacks. Now we are on 4 and fewer runes, which means that this Empower ability costs 3 less, so it only costs 2 more now. But you have no more runes. Well, we have Renekton. Renekton, we can use these 2 energy on units or activated abilities of units. So essentially, we can blow up these 2, so recycle 2 more runes, use the Renekton legend to then add 2 energy that needs to be spent on units or activated abilities, but an Empower effect is an activated ability on a unit. So we can spend these 2 to give an Empower on this Sandspinner, which gives it another Assault 2, putting us all the way to 8 Assault on this Sandspinner, with everything spent and down to 2 runes now. And 6 plus 8 when this attacks becomes 14. So now, as an Empower unit, we can go in here and crash into this battlefield, taking it over and potentially winning the game. But being able to make 8 assault from like 1 card is a lot. If you guys enjoyed some pre-rift and some cool Renekton tips, give this video a like. That will be very much appreciated. Also, as a final tip, remember to have fun. Pre-rift is like one of the most fun formats in this game. Everyone's reading the new cards. Basically, no one knows what they're doing. So, gonna have an amazing time. So good luck with you guys pre-rift, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.